In the previous movie, we used cut and paste to bring in our data to create a table. In this movie, we're going to import it. Now, I'm going to import it from a spreadsheet, although the principles that I show you here will work equally with a word processor. So let me just switch over to the spreadsheet that I have open here. And here we have the text that I'm going to bring in. Very little formatting here. It's just pretty basic. And on the next tab over here, I have some text. It's actually the same text, and we've just used some of the automatic formatting options within the spreadsheet. I want to close this out because in most cases you're not going to be able to import the data from the spreadsheet if the spreadsheet itself is open. So let me pull down the file menu and choose place. And I'm going to just search for the file. It's down at the bottom here, I know that, and here it is, tabledata.xls, and hit open. And it just pops it straight in here like this. Now that is very similar to doing cut and paste. It's just taken on the default text. There's no formatting there, but it's just maintained a single tab between the columns. So it's very easy to format, and this isn't necessarily a bad way to do it. Let me delete this and we'll take a look at some more options. I'm going to import, Control or Command D for import. Go back to the dialog box. Select the table data, but this time I'm going to show import options here. We have replace selected item. We don't have anything selected, so that one's irrelevant in this case. I'll click and open. Now here it gives some options. First we have the sheet, and I had two sheets. I had text and one was formatted. We'll just stick with the text, and it lets you choose a cell range. By default it'll just select everything, which in fact in this case is all the data, but if you had more on the sheet than you wanted to bring in, you might want to limit the cell range. And here are some of the options that we'll be interested in. Down here you can bring in a formatted table, unformatted with tab text. In most cases these two are going to be the same, coming from a spreadsheet, and formatted once only. I'll look at this last option a little bit later here. So I'm just going to bring in a formatted table like this, and we'll just click on OK and accept that, and there you can see it has brought it in table format. Columns and rows are all set up, and we could just apply the formatting. Let me delete this and go into place again, Control or Command D, scroll down to my file, table data, click and open, and this time I'm going to bring in the formatted text here. And this is on a different sheet, as we saw, like this. And in this case I did name the cell range, so we can come down here. I named it grid. So if you name your cells within the spreadsheet, you can just bring it in by selecting that name. It knows what they are. You've got a choice to import hidden cells, and again we could choose format table, unformatted table, unformatted. So these two will take the formatting off, but we just want to bring it in this time. And we don't have any table styles built yet. We get to those a little bit later. But if we chose unformatted table, we could bring some of these styles that we have in our document in. Because we're choosing formatted, that option is dimmed out. And we could just take the alignment. We can change it automatically, have everything left, center, or right aligned, or take the alignment from the spreadsheet. If we have graphics, we could include them if there were graphics in the spreadsheet. And the number of decimal places, I would actually want this as 2 here. Use typographer's quotes. That is usually what you want. So unless you're dealing with feet and inches where they're straight quotes, you want to use typographer's quotes, which are the curly ones. So I'll just go ahead and click on OK, and then we bring in this formatted sheet like this. Now in most cases I would not recommend using formatted Excel sheets because the formatting's pretty grim, to say the least. You can do much better in InDesign. However, there would be cases where you're working with somebody else who's supplying you the data and is bringing it in from Excel, and then you are just laying out the data. In that case, you may want it. But however, in that particular case, you may want to link the data. Now, by default, when you import a text file or a spreadsheet, InDesign does not create a link. So you can go through here, you'll see all the links to the graphics, but there's no link to the spreadsheet. If you want to link it, you have to go to your preferences. So we'll go up to InDesign, Preferences, and remember this is in the Edit menu on the PC, and we'll go down to File Handling here. Down here at the bottom with links, it says Create links when placing text and spreadsheet files. So you turn that on now, clicking OK. So I could delete this, and let me bring it in again, Control or Command D. Let's scroll down, Table Data, hit Open. I'm going to choose the formatted text this time. And one other option we have now is Formatted Once Only. So it'll bring the formatted text in just once. And when the spreadsheet gets relinked, if the other person or you changes the data in the spreadsheet, the data will get updated, but the formatting won't. And that's probably the best option if you are creating a link in your spreadsheet. Now we can come over here and we can see table data.xls is now linked. So we could go out and edit it, change this data, have it automatically updated. And because we chose just formatted once, then any formatting we apply here will stay rather than have it overridden by the spreadsheet formatting. So that's the basis of bringing it in. We're just going to start with some basic text and show you how to format it in the next movie.